Ali from Spurs.
Yeah, no, not good enough. Especially the first half, we were just way too passive. Allowed sort of Arsenal to take control of the game, and just really disappointed with the way we, both with and without the ball, sort of allowed them to dictate the tempo and paid a price for it. Second half was a little bit better, but nowhere near good enough. Yeah, well, it wasn't about game control, just having a sort of different intent in our football. That's just not who we are. It's not the way I set the team up. It's not the way we want to play. To be sitting in there and allowing Arsenal to play, like I said, to their tempo, just wasn't good enough.
Andrew, reading what you said on TV, you said too many games getting away from you, it needs to stop. How do you go about it?
Well, you got no choice. You just got to, there's no magic cure here. You got to get up tomorrow and work hard and go into Sunday and prepare to, go into battle and turn around our fortunes in our season. I mean, there's nothing that's magical that's going to change this. There's always reasons for all these things to happen, but the reality of it is that our results and our form in the league has been nowhere near good enough, and that needs to change.
You're looking for excuses tonight. The first goal they scored looked like it went off across.
Well, it did. But look, I don't want to talk about referees because, I think I've got to take responsibility for my team. I'll let the referees take responsibility for theirs. It wasn't a corner, but it's how things are going for us at the moment. But that aside, we weren't anywhere near the level we needed to be in that first half in such a big game, and we've got to understand that what we can control is the first thing we need to focus on.
And you spoke yesterday about sort of the defence and how moments that let you down this season. I guess with that in mind, how frustrating is that second goal, and what can you do if these lapses keep happening?
Well, like I said, I think that second goal was just endemic of the whole first half. Look, irrespective of everything else, like I said, we just didn't play anywhere near the identity I want us to be. We're an aggressive team with and without the ball. We've shown that. We showed that 7 days ago against Liverpool, and tonight, especially in that first 45, we were way too, like I said, way too passive, and that's not acceptable. And then when you do that, then these kind of things creep in. It was a disappointing second goal to concede as well, but it's not like we were playing anywhere near the level we needed to. Like I said, the second half was a little bit better, and we certainly caused them more problems with and without the ball, but it wasn't enough.
It's difficult to take on positives from Derby's feet, but two 18-year-olds tonight, can you take anything from their performance?
I hope not. I want them disappointed. This can't be accepted by anyone at the club. Us losing so many games in a league season is not right. I know we're going through a tough trot, and yes, we are asking for big jobs, but I hope they're hurting the 18-year-olds as much as anyone else in terms of us not being able to deliver on a big day, big night.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, so we're diving deep today, folks, and let me tell you, things get pretty intense.
Yeah, this is a spicy one.
We're talking about, well, you sent this in, Ange Postecoglou's post-match presser after Tottenham got absolutely rocked by Arsenal in the North London Derby.
Oof, yeah, that was rough.
And it's not just that they lost, right? It's how they lost. It's like Postecoglou's words are practically on fire,
Yeah, you can tell this one really got under his skin. And for good reason. I mean, this wasn't the Tottenham we've been seeing lately, with that high-energy, attack-minded style.
Totally.
They were, almost unrecognizable out there, especially in that first half.
He actually used the words way too passive. Like, wow.
Yeah.
What went wrong? Was it the players? The tactics?
Yeah.
Or a bit of both?
It's hard to say for sure, right? But tactically speaking, there was zero pressure in the midfield. It was like watching a training exercise for Arsenal. They had so much time and space on the ball. It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that totally contradicts everything Postecoglou's system is supposed to be about, right?
Exactly. His whole thing is suffocating the opponent, winning the ball back high up the pitch, transitioning quickly into attack. That's the Postecoglou blueprint, right? But we saw none of that.
So if it wasn't that signature high-pressing aggressive style, what was it then? Just an off day? Or is there like a deeper issue here, something we should be worried about?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
Like, remember that game against Liverpool a few weeks back?
Oh, yeah.
Total domination. That was classic Postecoglou, you know? Aggressive, intense, in control. It was beautiful.
It really was.
But this was like a different team altogether.
Night and day.
Makes you wonder if maybe, just maybe, the players aren't fully on board with his philosophy. Or if there are some tactical nuances that they're like still trying to figure out.
Right. And then, the result of all of this is their current league position, which, let's be honest, isn't pretty.
Yeah, it's not great.
And Postecoglou didn't hold back. He called it unacceptable, point blank. And, I mean, he's not wrong. They're closer to the relegation zone than the top 4 right now.
That's brutal.
For a club like Tottenham, that's a huge problem.
Massive.
He even said there's no magic cure. Like, yikes.
Yeah, that's a pretty clear message. It sounds like some serious changes are in order if they want to turn things around.
It does. But here's the thing, right? Even with the terrible performance, even with some, let's say, questionable calls from the ref, Postecoglou refused to blame anyone but himself and the team.
Oh, absolutely. He owned it completely.
Right.
He even said, and I quote, "We don't want to be a team that looks for excuses." I thought that was a pretty powerful statement.
It is. That's where you really see his leadership. He's building a culture of accountability, right?
Yeah,
Which is so crucial for success.
totally agree.
Okay, so the first half was, as we established, a bit of a disaster.
To put it lightly.
Was there anything at all positive to take away from the second half?
Well, they did show a bit more urgency, let's say, a little more rhythm, but it was too little, too late. Yeah. They never really threatened Arsenal's goal. It was almost like the damage was already done.
I found it interesting that he started 2 18-year-olds in a game of this magnitude.
Me too. What's that tell you?
Well, to me, it signals a lack of experience.
Yeah.
Maybe a lack of depth in the squad. Makes me wonder if they're in a bit of a rebuilding phase.
Yeah, it could be. And if that's the case, it might explain some of the inconsistency we've been seeing.
Makes sense. But then it also begs the question, right? If they're prioritizing development, are they willing to sacrifice results in the short term?
Tough call, for sure.
So let's talk media reaction.
Right.
How have the pundits and commentators responded to, well, everything? The loss, Postecoglou's comments, the whole shebang.
Overwhelmingly critical, I'd say. They've really latched onto his unacceptable comment, picking apart the performance, and questioning whether Tottenham can truly compete at the top level.
Understandable, I guess.
Yeah, the pressure is definitely on.
So we've seen the frustration, right? The refusal to make excuses, the emphasis on accountability. But the big question remains, where does Tottenham go from here?
Right.
Can they adapt? Can they evolve? Can they find the consistency they need to climb the table? Or is this the beginning of a more prolonged struggle?
Only time will tell, I suppose.
It will. It really will. And that's something for all of you to ponder as you follow Tottenham's journey. Thanks for sticking with us for this deep dive.
It's been real.